Since the start of this World Cup, the games has been very interesting. The only problem here is just that some of the games are being played at midnight, but you can say that it is very interesting games. So the most interesting group for me is the group F. Yes, comprising of Netherlands, Sweden, and Japan and Tunisia. During that first game, that their first group game, the way Sweden performed, scored 5 goals, 5-1, and everybody started seeing Sweden as the underdogs. The next game, Sweden, Netherlands, everybody was expecting a banger, a big clash. But to our greatest surprise, they lost the game 5-1 to Netherlands. And then look at here, the problem is, the game against Tunisia, Sweden came out all attack. And then the Tunisian team was very much defensive. And now because of how good, the Sweden's team is attacking wise, they capitalized on that and then penetrated, and they were able to score like 5 goals in that game. Coming now to this second game, so they came out with that same mentality and mindset, to play the Dutch team, hoping to get a similar result or at least scoring much goals too. But unfortunately for them, there was Van Dijk in that Dutch team, there was Van Hecken, there was Van der Van and Don Fries in that back line. So they didn't give them that opportunity to penetrate and score. So most of their games, most of their shootings were outside the 18, outside the box. And then the goalkeeper was very fantastic in that game. So they were not able to penetrate the Dutch team. That was why they had it. They found it difficult to score. Their attack was very good. If you watch that game, the Swedish team was very good attacking wise. Was just that they never had that chances. And once you are going all attack, definitely there will be lapses in your back line. So the Dutch team took advantage of that, and then they penetrated to score. And then you also, if you look at this Japanese team too, also in that group, they are very outstanding. People are not talking more about this Japanese team. In the last World Cup, they came out first in their group stage, comprising Spain and Germany. In fact, Germany left in that group stage, and then they came out first with 6 points, while the Spanish team came out second with 4 points. Now, in this World Cup, they already have 4 points already. And then their next game is this Swedish team. And I think they are still going to beat them. So it's likely that this Japanese team will still come out as the top. Because right now, they have the same goal difference with the Netherlands team and with 4 points. It's just that Netherlands has scored more goals, than them. But they also conceded more. So the game is very interesting. This World Cup has been very interesting. And then I think another underdogs, because I told you initially that my underdog team is Norway. I think you have to watch this Japanese team. They are very good, I swear. No player, like you cannot tell a player that there in that team, but they still put out that performance. 4-0 against Tunisia. That was a banger. They were good.